Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on Semoskiy, or Semoskiy, or Semoskiy, I don't know how you call it, but it's Semoskiy, guys. And I couldn't wait to cast this and see how this map, looks and plays under Company Heroes 2. So, rather excited for this game. Let's hope it's a good one, and yeah. Also, I'll hopefully be able to play relatively soon and get this map sometime in the future. So anyways, the players today, our heroes today are going to be Marcus2389, playing for the Soviets. And he's going to be going up against Vidar, playing for the Germans. So, off the bat, we do see Marcus going for his 2 conscripts, and we have Vidar going for Tier 1, getting himself an MG first, and a Volksgrenadier squad second. Now, Semoskiy, for, well, I mean, pretty much anybody that watches this played CoH2, so we all know Semoskiy, but let's just go over it a little bit. Semoskiy is very well known, or was very well known, for the Semoskiy pin, because if you check the territories, you have this cutoff point here that cuts you off if you are, the left-hand player. And likewise, this point right here if you are the right-hand player. And there's also a lot of buildings in the center, which means that you can easily park an MG like here. You have windows in that direction that can easily cut off this section, and likewise there's also a house right here that can cut off this section with an MG. You have the church in the center, which is a very strong position. You have a graveyard here, or cemetery that is, with a lot of heavy cover all over the place, a lot of walls. Those tombstones themselves provide heavy cover. So the center point is pretty much the major focal point for engagements in this map, because you have, the 3 victory points spread out. You have, one on the right, one on the left, and the one in the center. So usually this is the area where you're going to see most of the fighting. Point distribution is, it's symmetric, I guess you could say. The munitions points are on the far edges next to the victory points, and you have the fuel points near the center for each player. And we have a first engagement. We'll get to the map later on. We have conscripts and grenadiers engaging in heavy cover, both of them, so that might be a long engagement. We do see the conscripts rushing up. Ooh, nice Molotov going in there by Marcus, making those grenadiers have to run out of that heavy cover and take some shots while they are running through the street. They do jump into another wall with more heavy cover, so the engagement is going to prolong itself a little bit further. Very nice. Do see 3 conscripts and a second combat engineer being produced for Marcus, while Vidar is producing 2 MG42s and 2 grenadiers. Over here on the left-hand side, we see Vidar is interesting. He's using barbed wire to cut off this approach, it looks like. Although, it's just here. Interesting. Conscript squad does manage to jump into the house before the MG42 suppresses them, so very nice. This engagement still going on, although another Molotov goes in. Very nice by Marcus. Catches Vidar off guard, and 3 of the grenadiers go down. Right-hand side, we have an MG42 getting flanked by a combat engineer, and it is not turning around just yet. I guess Vidar is a little bit preoccupied with an engagement over here on the left-hand side. Still hasn't turned around, so yeah. Conscripts chasing around a Pioneer squad, while this other conscript squad is going over for a flank on this MG42. MG42 is inside the house, opening up on this conscript squad, which is currently in the heavy cover of this wall, so it's not getting immediately suppressed. Another Molotov goes in, and that MG42 is now toast. Literally. They got burned alive. MG42 over here on the right-hand side does get flipped around and starts opening up on the combat engineers, but it is now down to 1 man. Took too long to turn around, and because the combat engineers are in heavy cover, they managed to stay in the fight, and they well, I don't know what I was going to say with this, but they unmanned that MG42, which is now there on the ground. I doubt that Marcus is going to take it over because it's only 2 men left on that combat engineer, so he decides to instead retreat. He is down to 1 man, so he might lose the squad. He is going through the negative cover there. Take some more shots, but that man is going to make it out alive. So we can assume that Vidar is going to be taking over that MG42 once again with this Grenadier squad. Conscript squad at 4 men is running up to try to engage. Might get a kill on this Grenadier squad, which is down to 1 man. MG42 is in a bad position, I suppose you could say. Only now manages to get recruited and gets a Molotov to the face. Down to 2 men. Gonna make it out of there though. So, small, well, not victory per se, but, you know, a positive there for Vidar. Anyways, he managed to get his MG42 back, so it didn't fall in the hands of Marcus. So anyways, in the lull in the fight, we do see Vidar going for the center, getting a Grenadier squad into that church, and going over to cap that victory point. Well, yeah, the fighting is actually quite constant and a little bit intense, so we'll just continue on the fighting. If we get another chance, we'll talk about the map. We do see a scout car on the field. Ooh, nice. Instantly goes down. Vidar makes a nice pickup there with the Panzerfaust and these Grenadiers. The combat engineer squad does go down to 2 man, but it's still on the field. Gonna stay on the field with that flamethrower to toast those. Ooh, nice rifle nade goes into those conscripts down to 3 men. Very heavy damage. And oh, okay. It looked like the combat engineer was lost, but they actually jump into the house and are now gonna open up on those Grenadiers. Should be able to just back away, and very nice, and they'll be fine. Another rifle nade goes into that church, but the combat engineers jump out and retreat quite nicely. Conscripts over on the right-hand side, or northern right-hand side, I guess you could say, very aggressively. Pretty much taking all the territory away from Vidar now. He is capturing the fuel point, but these conscripts are going to move to engage him. And there are heavy cover on the hail bales, so we'll see what happens there. Right-hand side, we have a conscript squad throwing a Molotov on these Grenadiers, but the Grenadiers do dodge it before it lands, and now they are down to 2 men on the retreat. Should be able to make it out fine, although there is a Grenadier squad there, but I believe they are going to take the bridge, which means they should be fine. And yeah, there they go. Engagement in the center? No. Engagement where? Over here? There we go. The conscripts do manage to fend off those Grenadiers down to 2 men, so they are going to recapture that fuel point, while Vidar captures the fuel point on the right-hand side. Combat engineers at 4 men are going to get caught in the open by these Grenadiers and the MG42. They are in heavy cover, but one of their guys wasn't exactly in heavy cover. It's still out in the open, which allows them to get suppressed. They are going to be able to stay out there a little bit more before they get pinned down, but they have reduced movement now. Another conscript squad moving up. We now see tier 4 already on the field for Marcus. We'll see what he decides to go with that. Conscripts and Grenadiers engaging down to 1 man. Might actually lose the squad if he doesn't retreat it soon. That is Vidar, that is. Out in the open, he's going to lose his squad. He's going to throw a rifle nade and retreat. Very nice dodge there by Marcus. And the heavy cover allows that Grenadier to get out of there. The MG42 does move a little bit into position and gets a suppression on those Grenadiers. I mean, conscripts, that is. Sorry. But they are right out of the range of it, although one of them does, 2 of them do crawl back into range. But the MG42 does get flipped around for some reason. Expecting a flank, maybe. I mean, there is a conscript squad out there, so very nice catching of that. He did see that with that scout car, so not bad. Very nice. Conscript squad down here, though, is no longer getting suppressed. It is hitting the ground, essentially, engaging that Grenadier squad. It is potentially going to lose, though, if he doesn't throw a Molotov. Scout car does go very aggressively towards the enemy base, trying to take out that conscript squad, but it manages to get out at 1 man. Grenadier squad down to 2 men, but the conscript squad does get opened up on by the MG42, so Marcus retreats that squad right away. And we now see an Su-76, I believe. Yeah, very nice. Very nice choice by Marcus. It is going to allow him to kill, you know, light vehicles, but it isn't going to, you know, reduce his anti-infantry capabilities. With that barrage ability, it's going to be able to kill MG42s that are in place, barrage buildings, so very nice choice. Grenadier squad gets Molotov, but they jump out very nicely. Conscript squad is getting opened up on by the scout car. We do have anti-tank grenades already produced, so if the scout car moves too close, like right now, it is going to take an 18-8 to the face. And there it goes. Nice arm, but he decides to retreat. Not going to risk getting that squad killed or lose too much manpower. We do see guards on the field now. He did go for the doctrine to provide some guards and the ISU. So that's going to be an interesting. There we go. Nice barrage ability being utilized by the Su-76, opening up on the MG42. He's going to have to get it out of there, otherwise he's going to lose it. And there he goes. Vidar hits retreat on that MG42 and manages to get out at 2 men. Guards rifle do decide to retreat, though. They were down to 3 men at that point. And that Su-76 is essentially uncountered right now. Obviously, Panzerfaust are a threat, but unless he spends a lot of them, and a lot of munitions in doing so, he can't actually efficiently kill it. Main gun of the Su-76 isn't exactly great against infantry. It's more anti-light vehicle, anti-tank, I guess you could say, but not really that heavily anti-tank. So it'll really only shine with the barrage ability against the infantry. Still, though, shots like that are going to happen, and it is going to get some infantry kills, so very nice. Grenadiers do get retreated. Conscripts Ura right on top of these other Grenadiers. They're going to jump into the heavy cover, vaulting over that fence very nicely. Going to get the bonus of the heavy cover. Both squads do benefit from it at this point now, so the flamethrower is going to go into effect very efficiently and burns one of them in one burst. Hits a retreat. Very nice. Right-hand side, we have combat engineers getting engaged by Grenadiers, and a 2-man Grenadier squad that was still here a long time ago does throw a rifle nade to try to catch these conscripts out in the open, but the conscripts were already moving out and are going to catch this 2-man Grenadier squad out in the open. It's going to die. It's in negative cover. Does hit retreat. Is he actually going to make it out of there? Well, conscript squad did get engaged by this other Grenadier squad, so very nice. Rifle nade goes back behind them onto that house, takes out one of those combat engineers, but not a lot of damage. Molotov lands right on top of the Grenadiers, in burning the water. That's interesting. One of them catches fire in the water. I mean, I guess he could have just jumped right there and put himself out, but he decided not to. And down to 2 men, but the combat engineers are down to 1. Engagement up in the north. MG42 getting barraged by the Su-76, and it's going to go down. He's not hitting retreat yet. Vidar is a little bit distracted. He does hit retreat now, and yeah, he's going to make it out of there. So very lucky squad, down to 1 man, but should be fine. MG42 getting turned around against these combat engineers. Combat engineers down to 2 men. They are going to retreat. They are down to 1 man. Oh, very low health, but they do get out of the arc of fire, and they should be fine. So intense fighting all over the place. Marcus pretty much has the advantage right now with that Su-76. It is uncountered at the present time. We do see the doctrine being selected for Vidar right now, though. So that's going to provide him with some abilities, and the mortar half-track I guess that you could use, but nothing that is going to directly counter that Su-76 right now. Grenadiers trying to Panzerfaust, it looks like, the Su-76. We do have a scout car up in the north. It hasn't gotten upgraded with the autocannon, which I feel might be a mistake. I mean, obviously it's not as useful as it could be, but if I'm not mistaken, the armor of the Su-76 is light enough that the autocannon should do some damage. Obviously, it would be very easy for the Su-76 to kill it, but, you know, it's an option. So fighting all over the place, we have conscripts, combat engineers, actually no, conscripts, guards rifle, grenadiers, MG42. MG42 getting cooked alive by that Molotov, down to 1 man. It's still in the fires, though it might actually get decrewed. No, the fires do run out before that. They do manage to get a pin on that conscript squad. Conscript squad a little bit to the south, down to 4 men. Still engaged with that grenadier squad. This Grenadier squad does get executed by the guards rifle. And we do see the autocannon now being upgraded for the scout car. Su-76 very low in health. Takes a shot at that scout car. Misses though, very nice. So I can only assume that the damage done to this Su-76 was in fact by the scout car. SU-76 is going a little bit on the hunt, gonna try and capture, or well, kill, that is, the scout car, but the scout car does mask itself with the true sight ability, obviously, and, well, not ability, but, you know, true sight mechanic of Company Heroes 2, and managed to get himself out of there. SU-76 a little bit in pursuit, trying to hunt it down, but it is well on its way back to its base, so it should be fine. Over on the southern side, we do see a 2-man Grenadier squad going around just decapping. Very nice. And the center of the map is pretty much now in full control of Marcus. Now Marcus is going to be producing an Su-85, going to hit the field in a little while. That is a preemptive Su-85. He probably assumes that Vidar, considering that he hasn't shown any vehicles, will be getting some armor soon, and that is, well, correct. He is getting his tier 3 up, has a lot of fuel, so we can only assume he's probably going to want to produce a Panzer IV. Probably the only sensible option, considering the Su-76 on the field. But with the Su-85 hitting the field right now, well, he's going to be a little bit SOL. MG42 being positioned nicely, getting a retreat on these conscripts. We do have medics though, so the conscripts are going to be able to... Huh. I was wondering if he was shooting at a mine that he had saw, but it looks like it's just the barrage ability being very inaccurate. When you shoot into the fog of war and further in range, I believe the scatter increases. Up in the north, we do see an engagement. MG42 opening up on a conscript squad with a Grenadier squad on top of them, so they retreat. Only at 4-man, so they should be fine. There is a Grenadier squad here in the way, but yeah, they have enough to be fine. Looks like a reconnaissance run being used by Vidar, trying to see what Marcus has on the field. Su-76 getting engaged again by these Grenadiers, taking another Panzerfaust, damaging the engine and the health, obviously. So the combat engineers are going to have to repair it again. Mortar on the field for Vidar, over here on the right-hand side. Could be a little bit more useful further up front, maybe behind this hedgerow here. So the reconnaissance overflight is just, you know, flying around, getting sight. MG42 running up, trying to get into the church, it looked like, but Guards Rifle are already in the church. They're opening up on the MG42, and they jump out to chase it. This MG42 is going to need some support, or it's going to need to retreat, because if they decide to stop and set up, the Guards Rifle are going to be able to cut him off. So very nice. Vidar just simply runs it over here to make sure that the path is a straight one instead of going, you know, around here. Very nice. Hey, excuse me, I had to sneeze. So, Mortar did get moved up a little bit further up to get some better shots at, but it is not supported right now by an MG42 that might have been used in this house. So it's now getting Urad by a conscript squad, getting shot in the face, down to 3-man, down to 2-man. Needs to retreat it. I think it's he's distracted somewhere in the place, and there it goes. Mortar crew gets killed off, and I'm assuming Marcus is going to take over that mortar. Left-hand side, we do have the Su-85 going very aggressively forward, trying to get a kill on that scout car. Does have veterancy 2, which means that it's going to get reduced damage taken. He does pop a Panzer Tactician, but doesn't use that opportunity to run away. So as soon as that smoke dies out, that Su-85 is going to be able to open up on the scout car. Takes a shot, but misses. Panzer IV is going aggressively, trying to get behind that Su-85. Going to take some shots while it moves. Su-85 gets Panzerfausted, and it does penetrate, getting that armor, that engine damage. But we still have that Su-76 in play, which is going to be a little bit of a nuisance to that Panzer IV. Su-85 trying to back off, or back up, that is, to get a shot at the Panzer IV, but it is going to get killed. Very nice move by Vidar. Got a nice pickup there, and he is also going to lose that Su-76. Su-76 trying to back off, but the autocannon on the scout car is actually, like I said, potent enough to penetrate that armor. Gets a lot of damage in there, and that Panzer IV just finishes it off. Conscripts do Ura into position to try to get a 18-8 on the Panzer IV. I believe it did go off, but it didn't penetrate, so it only did minor damage. So now, Vidar, in one nice movement there, actually is now fairly superior to Marcus. He has pretty much the same amount of infantry on the map that Marcus has, and he now has the armor advantage. He is also producing a second Panzer IV, so even with the Su-85 that Marcus is now producing, he can very easily get that upper hand. So very nice move by Vidar. That is bringing him back into the game. Pretty much up to this point, it was all in Marcus's hands. So yeah, very nice pickup there. Two-man Grenadier squad taking the cutoff point here, but down to... Ooh, yeah, that wasn't a very nice thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say. That wasn't a smart move by keeping that squad there. As soon as you saw him getting shot at, you know, retreated, you already got the cutoff itself, and you have all the points surrounding it, so there wasn't really any reason to keep that. So, small mistake there by Vidar, but, well, hindsight again is 2020. Rest of the territory is getting captured by Vidar. We do see a small engagement on the right-hand side. It's basically a conscript squad getting shooed away by two grenadier squads. Very nice. And we do see Marcus focusing on the left-hand side, taking his forces over there. He is going to move the Su-85 in that direction. It is caught behind the hedge there. Pops one and makes a hole. Very nice. So yeah, he is going to focus on the left-hand side so that all the German forces have to come to him, and he can make, you know, prodding attempts on the center. Has a captured mortar. It's going to be very useful for him. And we do have all the German forces, German armor on the left-hand side, so they might try to go against the Su-85. It's a nice position he has here, although considering his situation, it might be better if he was in the road, because if they do charge him, he can back off into his base. But either way, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Stug being called in by Vidar. Very interesting. He decides to not get a Panzer IV, which with 3 would be great, but interesting. Oh well, still gonna provide him some. Su-85 does move forward to try to get a kill on that scout car, and he does very nicely. Very nice pickup there. But the Panzer IVs are going very forward, trying to get behind that Su-85. Very nice controlling by Marcus. He does manage to reverse back into his base, into that choke point. So these Panzer IVs can no longer get behind him. He does rush forward to get right on top of that Panzer IV, so he's gonna try to kill at least one of the Panzer IVs. Conscript squads did throw a an 8. Ooh, very nice. Vidar tries to blitz his way past the Su-85, but he does not manage to do it effectively. Very nice try though. Su-85 takes a shot and misses. Ooh, now he does get behind him and gets a destroyed engine. Very nice aggressive move by Vidar. And with the Su-85 gone, these Panzer IVs now have free reign over the base. There is, what, a Guards rifle? And maybe the opportunity to throw a satchel? That's about it. I mean, there's 2 Guards rifles, obviously, but one is at a 1-man. Mass retreats now on the field for Marcus, so very heavy blow done by Vidar now. He has all 3 of his tanks still on the field. Would have been a nice break if Marcus has been able to kill this other one. He does throw an 18-8 at it. Ooh, very nice pickup there. Very cool. Oh, very nice. I'm not exactly sure by Cole, but yeah, very nice move by Marcus there. He flanks that tank, throws an 18-8, and manages to get a kill on it. So, at the very least, one of their German tanks is now dead. Not going to be able to get repaired. This one has a damaged engine, but is more than half health, so even with another 18-8, it's not going to do that much. And the Stug is also going to stay there on the field, doing some damage. Does get shot at by PTRS rifles, which is going to damage a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to kill it. So Vidar is going to have to back off a little bit. In the meantime, Marcus is on the right-hand side capping with the Penal Battalion. But that point is cut off for him. Center point, we still see Guard's Rifle being very aggressive, so Marcus isn't letting off on the pressure. He's not going to go falling back and wait for more armor. He is producing another Su-85. The gunner does get killed on this Panzer IV, so it means less anti-infantry capabilities, but it looks like the Stug is going in for a crush. He does get one of them crushed. Gets another one, very nice. And then goes along his way. So not that very effective. Gets button and PTRS down. Does use a nice Panzer Tactician to break that buttoning, get some smoke, and get out of there. So very nice use of the units by Vidar. I gotta say, very respectable, very impressive actually. Use of his panzers, his vehicles, that is. MG42 setting up in the middle of the road, trying to suppress everything. Actually manages to suppress all 3 squats. This one is going to be able to throw a Molotov, lands right on top of that MG42. MG42 is going to get cooked alive. He's going to lose that gunner in a second or two. Gunner is being pretty baller and just staying there and taking that damage. Doesn't hurt that much. I mean, it's a little warm, but I guess that's fine. I'll just die now. Another one catches fire. Down to 2-man. It's not opening fire, so it is not keeping those squads down. Guard's Rifle do get unsuppressed, and they get back up. Down to 1-man, this MG42 is going to die. And we now have the Su-85 on the field, engaging that Panzer IV. Panzer IV taking some shots, might use the Blitz ability to try to get behind him. Very nice usage of the house. It's going to get on the side of the Su-85. But the Panzer IV did break target. It was focusing on something else on the right-hand side. 18-8 goes in, gets a nice crit on the engine. Su-85 destroys that engine afterwards, and that is going to be all for that Panzer IV. Well, that should be all. There he goes. Stug does move into position to try to get a kill on the Su-85, but the Su-85 does mask itself behind that house. Shot goes directly into the house. Ooh, very nice turnaround. Main gun destroyed. If he can actually get another shot in, he can destroy the Su-85, and he does. But I believe he's going to lose that Stug. 18-8 is going to go in, and the PTRS rifle should be enough. And there it goes. 18-8 goes in. Out of control. Damaged engine. Might get a shot. No. Loses the arc of fire. And it's just going to crash against those hedges. Very bloody, very brutal fighting by both players. Very nice. All armor is now destroyed on the field, so we essentially have a early game now again. All infantry, all support weapons. And in this situation now, Marcus actually has the advantage. He has more infantry on the field. He has picked up the mortar from Vidar, so that's going to allow him to still dislodge those MG42s. And we have an MG42 that got decrewed right here in the middle of the street, which he's going to pick up right now and should be able to use very effectively against Vidar. Hell, he could even just pop it into this house and, you know, lock down this area a little bit. He is going to retreat it, though, deciding to instead reinforce it, so very nice. We see another Panzer IV being produced for Vidar, not a bad choice. At this, I mean, right now at this point, a Flak Panzer would have probably been a better option, but he is assuming, and I can only agree in the thought, that Marcus is probably going to be getting himself another Su-85 relatively soon. So, not a bad choice. Small engagement on the right-hand side. We have MG42 getting cooked alive by those penal battalions. They do actually get the upper hand on them, and Vidar decides to retreat. Doesn't want to lose all his weapons. So right now on the field for Vidar, it's looking very grim. He has 3 MG42s, is producing another one. Although, does that one say 0? What's going on? Let's see, we have that MG42 there. Is that a glitch? That is very interesting. Okay, I normally don't want to do this because it, you know, that's why I put in the interface, but I just want to take a quick look. What's going on? Vidar has this squad here. It does show it at 0. Oh my god. Okay. Well, we'll just jump back there. Anyways. That's weird. So there's a weird glitch where that MG42 is still being shown for Vidar. I don't know if that happened in his game or it's just a glitch on the replay. But it says 0 mans. It is not on the field. So anyways, I was saying that it's looking a little bit grim for Vidar because he has Only 3 MGs on the field, and the others are 3 Pioneers. No actual combat squats. It's only Pioneers and support weapons, but he does have a Panzer IV, but Marcus now has an Su-85, so that Panzer IV is a little bit moot. And Marcus has a whole slew of combined arms. I mean, he has conscripts, penal battalions, Guards rifles, stolen MG42, stolen mortar, so yeah. At this point, after getting all the vehicles out of the field, Marcus now has the advantage. MG42 on the road, trying to stop all this onslaught of infantry, but so much infantry and so much shots taking at them that it's now dead. Molotov goes in on top of that MG42 though. Very interesting choice. It was queued up, obviously. I mean, I'm not going to blame him for that, but he can't pick it up effectively now because the guys might die, so he's got to wait until that fire burns off. 18-8 goes onto that Panzer IV, does damage the engine. The PTRS rifles are going to open up on it and potentially kill it. Rear armor is exposed. Remember, when you can't use that reversibility, it's just as fast as going forward, and you know, don't expose your rear armor. PTRS rifles very close to getting that kill, but it does manage to get into the protective cover of that MG40. Well, I'm not sure if it's an MG42, I would assume, but basically the in-base machine guns, so should be fine. We'll be able to repair it. The Su-85, although the Su-85 at this point might be able to just simply go forward. I mean, there isn't anything on the field that can stop it. I don't know if that's what Marcus is trying to do, and he got stuck in there, but Pioneer's getting shot on the retreat, down to 1 man, might even lose it. Very low health. No. It's okay, very nice move by, well, very prudent or sensible move by Marcus. He decides to not go, you know, balls deep and try to kill that Panzer IV. He's instead just gonna probably park this Su-85 right in front of the base, take pot shots at whatever's coming up, and he's also gonna start mining. Very nice. So, so yeah, I mean, this is pretty much in Marcus's hands. I don't think there's anything Vidar can do about it. He had the upper hand with all his armor, and it was a brutal fight by both sides. A lot of losses, a lot of armor lost, but in the end, simply because of his infantry presence, Marcus ended up, you know, coming on top. So very nice. More mines being laid down, so I mean, even if something comes into the field, it's probably gonna blow up. We have 2 stolen MG42s for Marcus, so yeah. Pretty much all the territory also in Marcus' control. We have an MG42 trying to capture that fuel, but I don't think it is... Does it? I don't think it does. I think you need to have this point in order to have this one. Yeah, once the game is over, I'll go quickly over the changes or differences, I guess you could say, from the original Semoskiy to Semoskiy. But yeah. I could go about them right now, but the fighting has been pretty consistent and interesting. So, penal battalion getting caught in the open by that MG42. Guards rifle moving a little bit closer. And mortar is over here, opening up on that MG42. Probably gonna kill it. Down to 1 man. Ooh, nice mortar barrage goes onto the street. Gets a kill on those Panzer Grenadiers. Molotov going on top of the Panzer Grenadiers. Hitting straight on, burning one of them. They do actually walk out of the fire. Su-85 gets moved over to the left-hand side. Very nice. There is a Panzer IV back there. Ooh, nice hit there. I think he might have hit a miner. I don't know what that was exactly, but Panzer Grenadiers are now dead. So, combat infantry is now executed. Panzer IV going for a flank or just a death strafe, but gets buttoned by the Guards rifles. Slowing it down, taking some shots by the Su-85. Su-85 backing off, staying at range, taking some pot shots. 18-8 goes in, damages that engine, and 1 more shot should do it. Actually, not even that shot. He gets hit by the PTRS rifle, goes out of control, and Vidar throws in the towel. So very nice play by both. Yeah, at the end it was, you know, all Marcus, but yeah, I mean, Vidar actually did a very nice comeback with his armored assault there, killing off the Su-85 and keeping all his all his vehicles, but Marcus was very intelligent in the way that he attacked. He managed to pick off that very damaged Panzer IV, and then after that, killing the rest. So, I'll just call it here and say thank you. I'll try to get another replay on this map, and if I get a chance, I'll go over the differences. But still, it's a very nice map. I like the way that it played out, and yeah. Thanks so much for watching. So if you guys have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description below. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.